But it is also something that we need to understand that the Asiento de Negros was actually one of the first contracts that distinguished blacks as something that could be owned and sold by nations, because it was determined that the black or the African could last in the new world longer than the indigenous people. And so the enslavement over in the Americas, though it started with the indigenous people in the Americas, right? It was halted for a while. If you all remember me talking about Bartolome de las Casas, who was a priest who exposed the mistreatment of Columbus on the indigenous people. And de las Casas said that it would be better that they would leave the indigenous people alone, because he had befriended and he had raised and came down there as a priest and been inspired or made a connection with the indigenous people. But he saw the Negro as something other, because that is what was going on in Italy and in Spain, right? With the removal of blacks who had came over, the Moors during the Middle Ages, and the rebellion to get rid of the Moors and their influence on the Iberian coast. So it was understanding that de las Casas's racism bent over to the idea that, yeah, let's enslave the black because they deserve it. We're against them anyway. And so they took blacks over. But then de las Casas later on realized that the mistreatment was just as evil, rather it was black or rather it was indigenous. And the other issue is, history shows us, is that when blacks were bought over, they actually spurred a liberating spirit within the indigenous.